As I travel around the country, I get an opportunity to see many different kinds of coaches in many varied situations. And there's one thing that stands out in all the very successful ones, and that is they try to catch their kids doing something right all the time. I've seen some who maybe fail more than others because they are negative motivators of kids. And when we're building self-esteem and self-concept in young people, the easiest way to do it is to catch them doing something right and then adding to that, and then adding to that, and then pretty soon they feel comfortable, they feel like they're not afraid to take risks, and they have a chance to improve in whatever skill you're trying to teach them. The other thing that I think is really imperative, and it kind of ties an old era like I came out of to a new era of what kids are doing now. And a lot of kids now are television oriented, they're Nintendo oriented, they're computer oriented. And if you have those things at your disposal, you'll find that you will connect the kids' minds into what you're doing a lot better than just telling them what to do all the time. One thing that I would suggest that you do, that after 30 years of coaching both girls athletics and boys athletics, is that I would create higher thinking skills in kids. Usually when you're sitting and talking to a group of girls or a group of boys, depending on what you're coaching, you'll find that you'll explain something and then say, do you all understand? And they'll shake their heads yes, because internally all they want to do is get up and play the activity. So I would suggest that after you ask them if they understand the concept, I would turn around and have each one of those kids, maybe individually, give you an idea as to what's important about that. And as they give you answers, make them create higher thinking skills. Use questioning techniques like, that's very good, but what do you mean by that? Or that is excellent, except how are you going to explain that in a different way? Or how could you show me the advantage of this way versus that way? And then you'll understand whether they conceptualize and they internalize within themselves what it is you're trying to teach. As an example, when I played, many moons ago, I played for Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Detroit Tigers. Sparky's one of the finest people I think I've been associated with in my life. He was someone that I wanted to pattern my life after. But in my day and age, if Sparky told me to take 2 steps off of first base and 3 side straddle hops, I would do that. And if somebody came up to me and said, how come you're taking that lead? I'd say, because Sparky told me to. Maybe I didn't understand exactly why I was taking that lead. I just said, yes, sir, and did the lead. Well, today's kid or today's athlete wants to know the advantages and the reasons why they're doing things. And once they do, and they have internalized those and conceptualized those internally, they'll have a much better chance to anticipate situations because they know they're doing what they're doing for a specific reason. Another technique that we use to help prepare ourselves for either the game or preparation for practice is what I call a coach's checklist. I have about a 4-page checklist that I use here, depending upon whether it's my girls' softball or whether it happens to be for baseball. But I have probably here under pitchers, I have 20 different things listed that will be a reminder for me as to what I need to help teach that pitchers need to understand. I have bunting, I have hitting, base running, I have sliding. In baseball, moves to their bases, pop-up drills in the infield. Happens to be for baseball would be pickoff plays. We don't have that for softball. Rundown responsibilities for pitchers, etc., all the way through 20 different items. I have the same thing under catchers, including drills, the framing for catchers, bunting, pop-ups, fielding balls in the dirt, taking throws and tag plays at home plate. On to infield plays, which would be rundowns and bunt defenses and double steals and cutoffs and relays and sliding and all those kinds of things. I have all of these things listed as just a checklist for me as a coach. And when I happen to sit down to put a practice together, what I will do is I will design my practice to have maybe 10 to 15 minutes of stretching and throwing in the beginning to warm the kids up. Then what I will do is I will break my practice into different quadrants. I will have what I call station work. We'll be working on some specific task at station 1, a different task at station 2, another one at 3, another one at 4, and another one at 5. And they will rotate through these stations for possibly, let's say, 20 minutes, for instance. Then that would leave me an hour and 15 minutes for the actual practice. Then I would design my practice. That day it might be bunt defenses for the team. It might be cutoffs and relays. But what I've designed for myself is just a checklist by position, one for pitchers, catchers, infielders, outfielders, and then I also have team drills for base running situation drills, situational hitting drills, etc., that I keep as a checklist to remind myself when I'm designing my practices. Part of becoming a better coach is learning to break down athletic movement into its teachable parts and being able to communicate these to kids so that they can reach their potential in any given area. I hope some of these techniques lead you to a championship